To you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaja's daily class. Today, today is Ekadashi. Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisance to you, all glories to Prabhupada. So, are we continuing with Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Maharaj?
But a different verse, though. Today,
Okay.
Adi Lila, chapter 8, verse number 31.
Yes, Maharaj.
8:31 Adi Lila.
Yes, Maharaj. I'm sharing my screen.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, ma'am.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Chaitanya Nityanande Nahi E Sabda Vichar Nama Laite Prayadena Vahe Asrudar. But if one only chants with some slight faith the holy names of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, very quickly he is cleansed of all offenses. Thus, as soon as he chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he feels the ecstasy of love of God. Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati remarks in this connection that if one takes shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, follows their instructions to become more tolerant than the tree and more humbler than the grass, and in this way chants the holy name of the Lord, very soon he achieves the platform of transcendental loving service to the Lord, and tears appear in his eyes. There are offenses to be considered in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but there are no such considerations in chanting the names of Gaura Nityananda. Therefore, if one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but his life is still full of sinful activities, it will be very difficult for him to achieve the platform of loving service to the Lord. But in spite of being an offender, one chants the holy names of Gaur Nityananda, he is very quickly freed from all the reactions of his offenses. Therefore, one should first approach Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, or worship Guru Gauranga, and then come to the stage of worshipping Radha Krishna. In our Krishna conscious movements, our students are first advised to worship Guru Gauranga. And then, when they are somewhat advanced, the Radha Krishna deity is installed, and they are engaged in the worship of the Lord. One should first take shelter of Gaura Nityananda in order to reach ultimately Radha Krishna. Narottam Das Thakur sings in this connection, Gauranga Balite Habim Pulaka Sariram Hari Hari Balite Nayane Babendira Arka Be Nitai Chandira Kuruna Haibe Samsara Vasana More Kabe Tucha Habe Visaya Chadia Kabe Suda Habe Mana Kabe Habe Hare Baba Sri Brindavana. In the beginning, one should very regularly chant Sri Gaurasundar's holy name and then chant the holy name of Lord Nityananda. Thus, one's heart will be cleansed of impure desires for material enjoyment. Then one can approach Vrindavan Dham to worship Lord Krishna. Unless one is favored by Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, there is no need to go to Vrindavan, for unless one's mind is purified, he cannot see Vrindavan, even if he goes there. Actually, going to Vrindavan involves take shelter of the 6 Goswamis by reading Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagya Madhava, Lalita Madhava, and other books that they have given. In this way, one can understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. Kabe habe bujehe ite ise yugala pariti. The conjugal love between Radha and Krishna is not an ordinary human affair. It's fully transcendental. In order to understand Radha and Krishna, worship them and engage in their loving service, one must be guided by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, and the six Goswamis, Lord Chaitanya's direct disciples. For an ordinary man, worship of Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda or the Panchatattva is easier than worship of Radha and Krishna. Unless one is very fortunate, he should not be induced to worship Radha Krishna directly. A neophyte student who is not sufficiently educated and enlightened should not indulge in the worship of Radha Krishna or the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. If he does so, he cannot get the desired results. One should therefore chant the names Nitai Gaur and worship them without false prestige. Since everyone within this material world is more or less influenced by sinful activities, in the beginning it is essential that one take to the worship of Guru Gauranga and act and ask their favor. For thus, despite all the disqualifications, one will very soon become qualified to worship Radha Krishna Vigraha. It should be noted in this connection that the holy names of Lord Krishna and Gaurasundar are both identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should not consider one name to be more potent than the other. Considering the position of people in this age, however, the chanting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name is more essential than the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most magnanimous incarnation, and his mercy is very easily achieved. Therefore, one must first take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. By serving Gaura Nityananda, one is free from the entanglements of material existence and thus becomes qualified to worship the Radha Krishna deity. Umagyantimirandasya Gyanajana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bistaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyuhari Pastyatya De Satarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Paebacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Sivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namadi Gauda Truste Namaha. So we have many examples in our Hare Krishna movement demonstrated by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada on the mercy of Gaur Nitai. One cannot, as it mentions here emphatically and repetitiously, one cannot approach Radha and Krishna unless they go through the mercy of Gaur Nitai. Anyone who tries to do that will not get any benefit from that. And they'll actually make offenses which will impair their spiritual progress. Well, the best is to approach, and the recommended way, and the authorized way is to approach Gaur Nitai. And that's for Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhaktavrindam. It is mentioned that the Shastras teach in a very systematic way. But it's interesting how that system sometimes is understood in different ways. For instance, the Bhagavad Gita is the basic knowledge of Krishna consciousness. It deals with the very preliminary understanding of who is the Supreme Lord and what is his relationship with the living entities based on the principle of service. Who are the living entities and their entanglement in material energy and the reactions they get from that entanglement. That's basically the subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, Krishna speaks to Bhagavad Gita, but he doesn't talk anything about his Leelas in Vrindavan. The only closest thing he mentions to Vrindavan is done in a Gupta way when he says, Sarva Dharma Parikshisham Mamekam Saranam Braja. He says Braja in that verse, which means the full surrender of the residents of Vrindavan. But he doesn't explain it, nor do the acharyas explain it, at least in that direct presentation. But therefore, Bhagavad Gita is necessary as a foundation to understand higher knowledge. Higher knowledge comes from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the pure Purana, which deals only with pure devotional service to Krishna. It kicks out Dharma Projito Kaitavo Paramarnamatsarana Satam. It kicks out all kinds of cheating forms of religion that mix in karma, gyan, and yoga, along with bhakti, in order to gain some material benefits in the worship of the Supreme Lord. And therefore, Bhagavatam is the best. It is the purest. It is called Amalam Puranam, pure. It is also called Paramahansa Samhita. And it deals only with pure devotion to Krishna. But it gradually brings one to the 10th canto through the preceding 9 cantos, which describe many of the incarnations of the Lord in the Vaikuntha realm. So first we go to Krishna in Vaikuntha, Narayan, and then gradually we work up and qualify ourselves as we systematically study and hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And then after 9 cantos, one is expected to be ready to hear now Krishna's Leelas in the 10th canto. But then we also have Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it says that Chaitanya Charitamrita is even on a higher level of Srimad Bhagavatam because it's the life of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his execution of pure loving devotion in the mood of the residents of Vrindavan. So that's it. It says that one should approach these, and Prabhupada also gave the system of education by first giving us the basics, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instructions, and Sri Ishupanishads. And then he said, then Srimad Bhagavatam, and then Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So there's an educational system that's aligned with this progressive study of the Shastras. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati really makes another statement which seems to be quite different than what we hear from Srila Prabhupada. But Prabhupada is not contrary to that statement. He follows the statement, but he explains it in a different way. And that is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says, one should approach Srimad Bhagavatam first by hearing the pastimes and activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he writes about that, and it's also, Prabhupada also shows that by when he gives Bhagavatam, he precedes the beginning of Bhagavatam with 60-some pages of the synopsis or a summary of the life of Lord Chaitanya. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is living Bhagavatam. It is Bhagavatam in life. We're hearing it also, Bhagavatam as it is, from the great acharyas. And it's also Bhagavatam that is living. But we can identify with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he only came 530 some years ago. And he's teaching that process by which we are meant to follow. We cannot follow everything in the Bhagavatam. That's why Srila Prabhupada has very carefully analyzed the verses and given his purports based on the purports of the acharyas, so we can understand what is relevant to our practice of Krishna consciousness and what will be just a set of informations that may be helpful for general knowledge, but not for actual practice. And so, therefore, one should hear regularly Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, especially Adi Lila, which is deep in the practice of Krishna consciousness. As you see here, it's very nicely explained that one cannot approach the supreme realm of Vrindavan, or even try to approach the supreme realm of Vrindavan, unless they go through Gaur Nitai. What does it mean to go through Gaur Nitai? It means to pray to Gaur Nitai, to understand that the works of the Goswamis, their writings, are actually the knowledge that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to the world through them, especially Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. Jiva Goswami is a little harder to understand, but that knowledge is also very, very interesting and available for devotees to delve into. But first, Rupa Goswami, he is the Abhideya Acharya. He teaches the whole process of bhakti centered around the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So here it also talks about the Maha Mantra, that if one has some slight faith and chants the holy names of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, very quickly he is cleansed of all offenses. Therefore, it is highly instituted that before you chant Hare Krishna, you must chant the Panchatattva mantra, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. And that way, the obstacles that may come in the way of chanting, and there are many in different categories of obstacles, they'll be gradually cleared away by the mercy of Gaur Nitai. They are very kind, because they want to make everyone Krishna conscious in this age. And of course, that's not possible, you might say, but that is their goal anyway. Why is it not possible? Because the age is so degraded that there are people who cannot even begin to understand what is spiritual life, what to speak of even believing in spiritual life. Most people are either atheists or closet atheists because they simply worship the material energy, which is the Maya energy, which is the external energy of the Lord, for the sake of entangling the conditioned souls in a repetition of birth and death, due to their desire not to worship the Lord, but to try to become separate from the Lord, to enjoy separately from the Lord. And therefore, we have to pray to Gaur Nitai. They're very merciful. We have so many pastimes of Gaur Nitai, how they showed mercy to the most sinful of all sinful people, Jagai and Madai. Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur was asked by Lord Chaitanya to go through the village and ask everyone to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And so every day they would go out, knock on people's doors, and with folded hands, sometimes with straw in their teeth, and sometimes getting on their knees, they would beg people, please chant Hare Krishna. The Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally come to deliver the entire world back to the spiritual world, and he has given us the formula, please chant this mantra, which is considered to be the mantra from Goloka. Golokera Premadana Harinam Sankirtan Ratin Jan Milokena Upai. That mantra is the best of all mantra because it's the purest of all mantra. It's called the Maha Mantra. Why is that? Because there is simply only the names of Radha and Krishna in the mantra. As one becomes more focused in their process of devotional service, one can understand that the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra only has the names of Radha and Krishna. Even the name Rama is there. So those who are focused on Lord Chaitanya will understand the name Rama simply means Krishna, who is Radhika Raman, who is the husband of the goddess of fortune, not Lakshmi Devi, but of Srimati Radharani. So therefore, as we become more and more fixed on Lord Chaitanya's teachings and the process of bhakti, we see everything centers around Radha and Krishna in the Maha Mantra. And that is ultimately the complete understanding of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Uh, so in that process of chanting, one becomes purified. Cheto darpana marjana bhava mahadarvagni nirvapanam shreya kaiva vichendrika vitaranam vidya vadu jivanam anandam buddhi vardhanam patipadam puram rita swadanam sarvatmas napanam param vijayate Shri Krishna sankirtanam. Lord Chaitanya wrote very little, but what he wrote was so powerful, was those 8 verses of the Shikshastakam, which is the embodiment of the entire Maha Mantra. As you go through those 8 verses, the whole process of pure devotional service centered around chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the essential topic of those 8 prayers. It's all about purifying yourself and making progress in different stages of bhakti, all the way to the purified stage of prema pumartha maha, love of God. And it's all centered around the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Of course, Lord Chaitanya also introduced the importance of reading and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and especially, particularly, serving and associating with Vaishnavas, associating and serving Vaishnavas. That's not dispensable. One cannot simply chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra without serving the Vaishnavas, because the holy name will not give the mercy. Because the Vaishnavas are very dear to Krishna, and therefore one who serves the Vaishnavas becomes very dear to Krishna and receives the mercy of Krishna through the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But this all centers around Gaur Nitai. And when Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur would beseech people in the village, sometimes they would agree and sometimes they wouldn't agree to chant. Sometimes they would say, "Oh, Nitai, we're so busy. We have so many responsibilities with family, so we have no time to chant." And then he would get on his knees. Sometimes he would roll on the ground and beg them, "Please chant." And sometimes they would be embarrassed seeing him in that condition, and they would get up. They would say, "Nityananda, please get up, get up, get up, get up." And then they say, "Oh, we'll chant, we'll chant, we'll chant." So he didn't want to see anyone refuse the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So him and Haridas Thakur was wandering through the village, and they asked the town people, "Who are the most sinful in this town?" And it was responded, "Well, there are 2 personalities. They're known in names as Madhavananda and Jagadananda. They're called Jagai and Madai. And there are 2 sheriffs. They're actually the sheriffs of Navadvip, but they're the biggest rogues in the whole town." And so they were thinking, "Oh, if we can give them chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, then Lord Chaitanya will be glorified beyond anything." So they were thinking, we have to make them devotees. So they approached from a distance these 2 personalities. They were always drunk. They usually falling down, and they would sometimes punch each other and call each other bad names. And then they would get drunk and they would laugh. No one could go near them. So Nityananda, from a distance, along with Haridas, said, "Hey, you 2 brothers, the Supreme Lord is here with the mercy that he's come. Chant the holy names of Krishna, give up all of these ideas of how to become happy, and chant, and you'll understand what is real happiness." And then these 2 drunkards, they looked at Nityananda with cross eyes. They were half intoxicated. So they looked at each other and said, "Get him!" So they started running towards Lord Nityananda and Haridas. And Lord Nityananda and Haridas started to run the other way. And they were chasing them, but they could never catch Nityananda and Haridas. They were very big bodied personalities and they were really drunk. They were falling down. So, and then that night, Nityananda and Haridas came back to Lord Chaitanya to report their Sankirtan scores. That was their duty, to see how many persons they actually got to chant the holy names of the Lord. That was their Sankirtan. So uh, uh, Haridas Thakur said, I was beaten in 22 marketplaces, and somehow I survived. But this Nityananda, now he's going to these drunkards, and he's trying to give them the holy name, and they're threatening to kill us. And Advaitacharya is there, and he says, yes, Nityananda, he likes to associate with drunkards because he is also a drunkard. What he was saying is that Nityananda is drunk on the holy name. And so everyone started to laugh. So the next day they went back again from a distance. They petitioned these two drunkards to again chant the holy names. This time Madai became really angry, picked up a broken clay pot and he threw it and it hit Lord Nityananda in the head and it caused his head to bleed. When that happened, the townspeople ran to Lord Chaitanya and told him what happened. He came, he was like fire, and he came to the spot and he saw these two persons. He called for his chakra, ready to kill him right on the spot. But Jagadananda, he fell at the feet of Lord Chaitanya because Lord Chaitanya revealed himself as the Supreme Lord. And he held onto his feet, pleading, please be merciful unto us. We are so fallen and so degraded. Please be merciful. Actually, it wasn't me that did it, it was my brother. So I was trying to blame Madhavananda. And so by the petition of by petition of Jagadananda, Lord Chaitanya put away his chakra. And then Madai also realized that they were in trouble, and he fell at the feet of Nityananda, and they were begging for forgiveness. And Lord Chaitanya said, if Nityananda forgives you, then I forgive you. And Lord Nityananda said to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in this age, we've come not to kill the body, but to kill the mentality. Because in previous ages, Krishna and Balaram's Brajendra Nandanaye, Sachi Sutta Hoilo say, Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Balaram and Krishna, they are now coming again as Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya. They are non-different. But in the previous ages, they would kill the demons. But in this age, as Lord Nityananda petitioned the Lord, we are here simply to change the mentality. And so now these two brothers are becoming very repentant, and the Lord Chaitanya, and then they ask for forgiveness. And of course, Lord Nityananda, he was like a father who forgives his naughty son. Even if the son does something to hurt the father or to, cause trouble to the father doesn't become angry at the son. He becomes a little disturbed, maybe. But because he is the father, he has love for the son. So Lord Nityananda is Guru Tattva. He has love for all living entity. He is the supreme guru amongst all living entities. Therefore, he's the pure representative of the Supreme Lord as both the Guru and as the Lord himself. So he forgave both of them. And then all of a sudden, all of the sins that Jagai and Madai, now we flash back to Yamaraj. Yamaraj is there with his secretary, Chandra Gupta, and he's saying, Chandra Gupta, this This Jagai and Muddy, how sinful are they? Oh, Chandragupta says, we cannot keep up recording all of their sinful activities. We have hired 30 new scribes to write down all of their sinful activities, and they are exhausted. We are 1 month behind catching up with all of their sinful activities. When Yamaraj heard that, he fainted, because he understood that Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda are so merciful, that these persons were so fallen, so sinful, so degraded, yet within an instant, he gave them full mercy and purified them from all the reactions of their sins, because they simply took shelter sincerely at the lotus feet of Gaur Nitai. So if we do that also, simply beg for their mercy, chant their holy names, and pray, we will receive the full mercy of Lord Chaitanya and associate with and serve devotees. As Lord Chaitanya says, I give my full mercy to anyone and everyone who chants the holy names of the Lord and doesn't find fault with Vaishnavas. So these are the requirements for the full mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. But we should also pray to them, as we recommended here in this purport by Srila Prabhupada. And that pastime is interesting because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati gives a commentary on that pastime. And his commentary is somewhat mysterious, at least in the beginning as he explains it. So what is that mysteriousness? He says that the mercy that is shown to Jagai and Madai by Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda is not simply a historical event within the Shastras. I mean, it's not simply a historical event. It is not simply another Lila of the Lord within the Shastras. What is it? Then he qualifies it by saying, it is the feature of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda's mercy that is present today. The Jagais and Madais of today's society are being swept away and given a chance to come to the platform of engaging in pure devotional service simply by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. It is not a small mantra. It is the most powerful of all powerful mantras. The Gayatri mantra is the Guru mantra. We receive that during initiation. But the Gayatri mantra is not as powerful as the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Gayatri mantra has many rules and regulations by which you must follow in order to get the benefit of chanting Gayatri. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has broken the rules and regulations for chanting. He said you can chant anytime, any place, anywhere. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarvashaktish tatarpita niyamita smaranena kalaham etadusri tavakripa bhagavan mamapi dordaivam hidrisam mihajani nanuragaha. So he's broken up all of the rules and regulations. Chant Hare Krishna, but chant with devotion, chant with attention. Make it your most important activity of throughout the day. And you'll see. And praying to Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. Nitai Pada Kamalam Koti Chandra Sushitala Ye Chayaya Jagat Judayai. Goranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sadira. Hari Hari Bolite Nam Nainam Habe. Now these two personalities are so kind, so merciful, that one cannot describe it, one cannot write about it, one cannot imagine it. When Srila Prabhupada came to Atlanta, Georgia Temple in America in 1975, he sat down on his Vyasasan. The temple was crowded. Not only crowded, it was so crowded that devotees were standing outside the window looking in because no one could even fit in the temple. They all wanted to be with Prabhupada. In that temple, there's a a nice altar. In the middle altar, there are three altars. In the middle altar is Gornitai. On the right is Radha and Krishna. On the left is Jagannath. So Gornitai as the center altar. And they're beautiful, beautiful deities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. Big, big brass deities. Prabhupada sat down and he started to sing. Paramakaruna Bahudui Jane Nitai Gaura Chandra Sabayabatara Sarosiromani Kevalaya Nanda Kanda. But Prabhupada didn't get that far. He started to sing and he only spoke a few of the lines, a few of the words. And then all of a sudden he stopped and he closed his eyes and there was complete silence in the temple. The devotees there could describe it. That silence was only a couple minutes, but it seemed like years. It was like everyone was pin drop silence. Prabhupada went into ecstasy. And then he came out. Tears were flowing from his eyes, and he said, "These two brothers, they are so kind. They are so kind." Just chant Hare Krishna. He couldn't speak. He was overwhelmed with emotion. It was just too much. Prabhupada hardly ever did that. He would always restrain himself not to make a show in public. But at this particular time, it was too much for him. Just to remember how merciful these two brothers are. And if you think about it, you can't imagine their mercy. It's not possible. It's not possible. Krishna has come again in his most merciful form. And that mercy is undescribable, unlimited, and readily available. So take shelter of Gaur Nitai, chant the holy names of the Lord, and then you can actually approach Radha and Krishna and Sri Vrindavan Dham only by their mercy.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Such a wonderful class, and about Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. I was thinking like where I was if I were there in that age, like 550 years ago, when Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda were there, I would have been liberated and gone back to Godhead.
But Krishna wanted you to come back so you could assist me in serving the devotees.
I'm not. I don't think I'm qualified for that, Maharaj. So somehow I'm struggling here in this material world. Yeah.
That's what it means to be in the material world. It means to struggle.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Such a wonderful class. Dear devotees, any questions or comments or realizations, you can please go ahead. And please turn on your cameras if possible. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
So, Maharaj, I was thinking when you said like Bhagavad Gita is the foundation of the basic knowledge to understand Krishna consciousness. So, so the main point is like we have to apply that knowledge, right, Maharaj? So, um, everyone are eager to hear to the katha or eager to hear the philosophy, but when coming to the application part, so we are always lacking in that. So how can we or why we are not able to apply this philosophy, whatever we are hearing in our
Well,
knowledge?
that's what the spiritual master is for. He teaches how to apply what you hear, what you learn, what you read. And once you start understanding how to apply it, then after a while you can it becomes natural for you to apply it. But the spiritual master is there to give advice for application
Mm.
through the process of engaging you in different services and also helping you to understand how that knowledge can be used in your day-to-day life.
Mm.
We have to connect the knowledge with every situation that we are in and apply that knowledge. Just like if we're living in the house. So we have, there is the family. So we understand, yes, that everyone has a role to play within the family. So what is my role in that? Aside from the responsibilities we have in the family, what is my role within the family? So we learned that from the spiritual master. And then it becomes more and more, after a while, when you hear it enough, you start applying it. So a devotee is called Shastra Chakshus, which means not to see through these two balls called eyes, because what can you see? We have to see through knowledge and not see through what we see as the ephemeral movement of the external energy. That's all. And that's perceivable in different ways. Just like everyone sees the material energy differently, although it's the same material energy. Why? Because our perception and our consciousness and our conditioning formulates how we view things, how we experience things, how we react to things. This is all part of our conditioned nature. So there's a slight difference. Sometimes there's a big difference. Just like devotee, when they see the deity, they become happy. They smile. Sometimes they shed tears. A non-devotee will see the same deity and think, oh, why are they worshiping statues? So
So,
perception is also individual.
okay. So whatever we see around us, if we see through Shastras, then we'll be able to easily apply it in our life. Maharaj, that's what
Yeah,
I'm.
that's the way to see through Shastra. That's my son and that's my daughter, but they're actually part and parcel of Krishna. They've been given to me by Krishna to take care of them and to give them a lot, to assist them in growing up and becoming a devotee in this life. So if you see like that, then you're seeing. Not only are they connected on the bodily level, but we're connected on the spiritual level.
Yes. Thank you, Maharaj.
Mm.
Sridevi Mataji, you have a question. Please go ahead.
Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, you explained that Lord Chaitanya gives his mercy to one who chants the holy names of the Lord and does not find fault with the devotees. So my question is, I know that you yourself in New Vrindavan went through very difficult times when the leadership was demanding all kinds of things from the devotees, that they should wear robes, they should sing hymns, etc., etc. Now, when such things happen, how we as devotees should continue to prosecute our Krishna consciousness without finding fault?
That question depends on the circumstance. And usually, if things are deviated, deviations are being caused from the top, then it requires something from the top to rectify it. For instance, we have the GBC, we have the National Council in many countries. And so when the temples go off, it's the National Council, the GBC body can be alerted, and then things can be adjusted. that's we have that what we call it. What is it called? The jurisprudence. Echelon of leadership. So using that example you gave, that would be something that the rank and file devotees would never not be able to change because it's coming from leadership. Therefore, it must come from the rank and file devotees can complain. Just like the prime example, if you study it, is what happened in the New York temple. When the leadership went off there, some people left and others stayed. Prabhupada criticized the senior devotees for leaving. He said you should have stayed and tried to rectify it. And he commended the junior devotees for leaving because he said they would be affected by it and couldn't do anything. So that's a history about what happened in the New York temple back in the 1970s. So Prabhupada chastised the senior devotees who left, and those who are less, the newer devotees, he said they made a right move by leaving, so not to become contaminated. The senior devotees should have did something rather than leaving to rectify the situation. So there's an example. Now, it took Prabhupada to show how things should have happened. So Prabhupada is giving us a lot of tools to work with now. His examples, his knowledge, the knowledge he gives through his lectures and his books especially. Those who are in charge now have to follow Srila Prabhupada very carefully, make sure we don't deviate from Srila Prabhupada's instructions on how things should go on.
And when we see that no such thing is being followed, then we cannot directly say anything. We must approach the higher authorities and alert them as to what is going on, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisance.
We have Krishnadas Kaviraj.
Prabhuji, you previously raised your hand. Do you have a question?
Hi, Krishna. Thank you. Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you, Maharaj. All glories to all of the Vaishnavas. Maharaj, you spoke about the importance of the Panchatattva mantra, and we often hear about the mercy, the sheer mercy that we can tap into by chanting the Panchatattva mantra. So sometimes it feels like that we should chant the Panchatattva mantra a lot. And then, so how do we balance that with chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Because they both sound really important.
Yeah, sometimes it's also said Panchatattva mantra is also Mahamantra. It's mentioned. And there are some, I can't really classify them, devotees who actually chant rounds of Panchatattva mantra. When I first joined, we were instructed that we should chant Panchatattva mantra before each round of japa. But then later on, we heard there was some discussion on that it is sufficient simply to chant the Panchatattva mantra once at the beginning, and it wasn't required to chant before each round. But some devotees continue to, and even today, chant before each round. And others will chant at the beginning. But the quality of your chanting is also the efficacy of the mantra. You should chant properly, with devotion, with attention. So, and read Chaitanya Charitamrita. We can stay in contact with Lord Chaitanya, his pastimes. When Prabhupada first gave us Chaitanya Charitamrita, he gave it in a small book called, first he gave Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. That was a big book, which was a summary. We had that at the very beginning. There was no Chaitanya Charitamrita. There was only Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And I still have copies of that old book, and it's, 300 or 400 pages long. But then when Prabhupada started to chant and to translate, he gave us the 7th chapter of Adi Lila first, before he gave any other chapter. He didn't start off with, Adi Lila chapter 1. He started off with Adi Lila chapter 7. And he made a separate book, which we call the five features of Lord Chaitanya. 5 features of Lord Chaitanya. Nice little book. I have it in my library. And that 7th chapter is powerful because it centers around mostly about the chanting of the holy name. And so we have sufficient amount of shastras available. We should read Lord Chaitanya's life, his teachings in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And if we read and study the works of the Goswamis, particularly the works of Rupa Goswami and also Sanatana Goswami, also Raghunath Das Goswami, but he's a little more advanced. In our up-and-coming retreat in France, we'll be doing Manashiksha. Manashiksha is Raghunath Das Goswami's book called Instructions to the Mind, where he instructs his mind, chastises his mind, he cajoles his mind, he humors his mind in different ways. So that's pretty deep, but it's basic also. It's both basic and deep. So those of you who are coming to France I think will find this seminar quite enlightening and interesting and very helpful in your practice of devotional service. There's an ocean of transcendental knowledge in that 11 verses given by Raghunath Das Goswami. So the works of the Goswamis are the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Divya.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept my pranam, all the devotees. Guru Maharaj, you mentioned about the Gayatri mantra that is given at the time of second initiation. So what is the significance of that and how, and why it is given?
It's called Guru. It's the Guru mantra. It's the initiating mantra. Initiation comes by when you receive Gayatri. First initiation is preliminary. Complete initiation is Upanaya Samskara, which is the Gayatri mantra, which is the Bij mantra. It's the seed mantra. The first line of Gayatri mantra is even chanted by so many other religious organizations, spiritual organizations, and they all have an interpretation of that first line. we have our interpretation also, based on the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So in that there is Brahma Gayatri, which is the first line. The second section is Guru Gayatri, and then is Gauranga Gayatri or Gaur Gayatri, and then the last two lines are Krishna Gayatri, and the last one is the highest. It takes one to Vrindavan, and that one is none different than Srimati Radharani. So Klim is the word that precedes many of them. Klim means bij, or the seed of that mantra, which contains the essence of that particular mantra in a distinct form. And by chanting Gayatri mantra, it will help you in your chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Like that. If you want to learn more, I would suggest you go to Shivaram Maharaj's 8-volume series entitled Nu Vraja Mahimamrita. There's 8 volumes. I mean, they're big. Each volume is big, but the last volume, I think, is, oh no, the 7th volume. There's 8 volumes. The 7th volume, he goes through the entire Gayatri mantra and explains it word for word. Sachinandana Maharaj has also written a book called Gayatri. But no one can chant the Gayatri mantra unless it's given by Guru. Even though if you know the lines, it doesn't have any effect. It has to be given by Guru. That's why it's called the Guru mantra. But of course, we don't speak the lines or we don't talk about them because they're given only at the second initiation. Like that. But sometimes the lines are mentioned in different places.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, read that 7th volume of Nubraja Mahimamrita.
Sure, Guru Maharaj.
He takes each line and takes each word in each line and describes it in relationship to the process of pure devotional service.
Maharaj. Thank you.
Yeah, we want devotees to go deeper into this philosophy and not just, chant Hare Krishna. These books are meant for reading, they're meant for studying, they're meant for applying, they're meant for awaken our attraction to Krishna. Read these books, especially Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. These 2 books are sufficient. That's all you need.
Sure, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, we have a question on chat by Dheeraj Prabhu. He's asking, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances, always to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to your holiness. So when we are preaching to our family members who are non-devotees, should we be concerned about preaching them, or just we'll focus on our sadhana and practice, and rest we should leave to Gaurnitai?
If they're not receptive, don't waste time. Just give them some prasadam. That's the best. We don't want to preach to anyone who doesn't want to hear. That's a general principle.
Yeah, thank you, Guru Maharaj. And thank you for explaining the importance of chanting to us. It really helps, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, it's all there in Lord Chaitanya's teachings.
Yeah, thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dear devotees, any more questions or comments? You can please clarify about your doubts regarding chanting or the sadhana. Revati Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Madhuri. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, my humble obeisances. All glories to Lord Prabhupada, all glories to you, Guru Maharaj. So my question is about the pastime of Jaga and Madai. They are so fallen, and but they took shelter sincerely, and they got the mercy. So afterwards they became like devotees. So we are also like, want to sincerely but still like external energy is so strong. So just trying to understand like, Jaga and Madai situation, like how they became devotees, like as soon as they surrendered to God Nitai.
Yeah, they surrendered. That's what we have to do, surrender, and you get the mercy. What is that? Where is what's her name? Gorangi Priya?
Yeah, Mataji is here.
She,
Gaurangi.
Gorangi.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble
Yeah.
obeisance.
Sing that song by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Complete Surrender.
मानुष देह गेह जो किछु मोर
Yeah.
और সর্বস্ব তোমার চরণে সপিয়া পড়েছি তোমার ঘরে। Which song, Guru Maharaj?
We can't hear you. Turn on your camera so we can see you and then sing.
Oh. মানুষ দেহ গেহ जो কিছু মোর ওর পেলু তু আপদে নন্দ কিশোর সম্পদে বিপদে জীবনে মরণে দায় মম গেলা তুয়া ও পদ বরণ মারো বিরাখবি জয়ী ইচ্ছা তোহারা নিত্য এই দাস প্রতি তুয়া অধিকার কীট জন্ম যথা তুয়া দাস বহির্মুখ ব্রহ্ম জন্মে নাহি আস হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে মানস দেহ গেহ जो কিছু মোর ওর পিলু তো আপদে নন্দ কিশোর।
Haribo. Beautiful.
It's not beautiful.
Thank you,
If you,
Guru Maharaj.
Srimati, see if you can find that bhajan.
Yes,
We
Mataji.
can get the translation.
One second.
Manaso, Deho, Geho. Thank you, Garanga Priya. That was like really charming our mind.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances.
That was
Let us speak.
okay. Yeah, somebody read the translation.
Translation number 1, mind, body, and family, whatever may be mine, I have surrendered at your lotus feet, O youthful son of Nanda. Number 2, in good fortune or in bad, in life or at death, all my difficulties have disappeared by choosing those feet of yours as my only shelter. 3, slay me or protect me as you wish, for you are the master of your eternal servant. 4, if it is your will that I be born again, then may it be in the home of your devotee. 5. May I be born again even as a worm, so long as I may remain your devotee. I have no desire to be born as a Brahma averse to you. 6. I yearn for the company of that devotee who is completely devoid of all desire for worldly enjoyment or liberation. 7. Father, mother, lover, son, lord, preceptor, and husband, you are everything to me. Thakura Bhakti Vinoda says, O Kanha, please hear me. O Lord of Radha, you are my life and soul.
Okay, Revati, you wanted to hear complete surrender. This is it.
Yeah, thank you, Guru Maharaj. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, I'm just trying. Yeah, still a sadhaka.
That's complete surrender.
Yeah, I think I have to read this every day so that it reminds my mind. Yeah, thank you so much, Mata. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Mataji, for singing so beautifully.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Mataji, you should record it and send it on the group. This is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jai.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I'm looking at the chat. Yeah. No more questions, Maharaj.
Okay, we can stop here.
Yes, ma'am.
I think we can chant maybe. Let me see. I got some guests who have come for lunch. Let me check the situation. I'll be right back.
Yes, ma'am. Maharaj, can we start chanting?
Okay, yes, I have some time, so we can chant japa for a while.
Yes, ma'am. Share my screen. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for such a wonderful class. Lord Chaitanya ki jai, Lord Nityananda ki jai. Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhaktarindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. You want to take prasad, you can. I'll be late. And the other thing, it's a little cold in here. You turn it up a little. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. 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 Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare 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 Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Ram Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Hare. Mm, mm, mm. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare. Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. 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 Hare Hare. Rishabh. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Go in that room. There's a jacket hanging on the door. Bring it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hari 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hari 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hari Hari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. 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 Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much. If anybody wants to continue, I can make them host. Maharaj left the call.
Yeah, you can make me host, Srimati.
Okay, Mataji. Yeah, thank you so much.